Hello, good morning. I am Evelyn Stingambe with the latest edition of MBC News. A look at our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera urges newly appointed judges of the High Court of Malawi to be professional when discharging their duties. Government describes the Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people as a cultural unifying factor for people of Malawi, Zambia, and Mozambique. And World Vision Malawi launches a 76 billion kwacha campaign to eradicate child hunger and malnutrition in the country. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has advised newly appointed judges of the High Court of Malawi to discharge their duties professionally. Dr. Chakwera was speaking at Kamuzu Palace in Lilongwe during the swearing-in of 4 newly appointed judges of the High Court. He also urged the judges to always be organized to ensure that there is timely access to justice. Maesuji Kadzula reports.
I, Justice Kondwani Banda,
swear that I will well and truly serve the Republic of Malawi
in the office of Judge of the High Court of Malawi.
One by one, the newly appointed judges took their oath of office as they seek to assist in the delivery of justice in Malawi. In his words of counsel to the new judges, Dr. Chakwera said integrity is key in the discharging of their duties. He urged the new judges to be organized in their work for the betterment of the nation.
Disorganized people have less of an impact than organized people, no matter how much talent, education, experience, integrity, and passion they have. So my first word of advice to you is to make it your goal to be systematically, clinically, conscientiously, and meticulously organized in your work, because that will make your talents, education, experience, integrity, and passion have the maximum impact in the cause of delivering justice to Malawi.
Malawi Chief Justice Resilience Gamanda says the appointment of the new judges will help in expediting the handling of cases.
We need more judges, but these 4 will take us somewhere. We've already assigned them to different divisions of the High Court so that they can get to business straight away from here.
Speaking on behalf of the new judges, Justice Trabo Galua said the counsel by the President has come at the right time. He said they will make sure they fully apply their knowledge and skills in the delivery of justice to Malawians.
No, it is an honor to be appointed to serve as judge of the High Court. And I think I speak on behalf of the 3 others that have been appointed together with me. We take it as an honor, and we want to serve the nation in that office. We'll do our best to apply our knowledge that we've amassed over the years, but also we'll take counsel from the President, as he said. Systematic organization, very important. You may be talented, but if you're disorganized, you may not truly achieve your potential. So that advice has hit home. We'll take it with us, as well as temperament. He alluded to moderating our temperament, judging situations, not being carried away by emotions.
The other newly appointed judges are Justice Kondwani Banda, former Registrar of the Supreme Court of Appeal and High Court of Malawi, Justice Madalitso Koso Chimwaza, and Justice Edina Bodole. The appointment of the 4 judges has taken the number of judges at the court to at least 58. The function was attended by various senior government officials.
So help me God.
Maesuji Kadzula, MBC News, Kamuzu Palace, Lilongwe.
The First Lady, Madame Monica Chakwera, has urged girls in the country to stay away from premarital sex and avoid child marriages for the country to achieve a fistula-free society by 2030. The First Lady was speaking at Traditional Authority Matama in Kotakota at the commemoration of the International Fistula Day. From Kotakota, Eunice Yovu reports.
It is a condition surrounded by stigma and discrimination as women and girls affected fail to control the passing of urine and feces. Madam Monica Zagwedeza, speaking at the commemoration, challenged girls to stay away from sex and avoid entering into marriages at a tender age. Madam Zagwedeza said the fistula condition is common among young mothers and is escalated with poverty, where access to healthy services is a challenge.
Those affected often face stigma, discrimination, and even violence challenges that extend beyond the individual to impact families and communities. This is a huge concern for our nation, but it is also preventable, like they have said. Let's work on preventing it. We should hear, the future generation should hear history that there was this disease, but we don't have it any longer.
In her remarks, Deputy Minister of Health, Halima Daudi, advised women and girls with fistula condition in the country to seek medical help, saying the country has professional medical care for fistula and women should not be left out to suffer.
In Malawi, obstetric fistula continues to be a burden, and adolescent girls and young women are the ones that are at high risk. I need not remind you of the devastating and suffering that women of obstetric fistula undergo. It is estimated that for every woman who dies from maternal death, about 30 more suffer disabling and humiliating injuries, including obstetric fistula.
And chairperson for Fistula Malawi program, Dr. Grace Chiwudzu, said 20,000 women are living with fistula in the country. Dr. Chiwudzu added that women should avoid unskilled health workers when giving birth to avoid this problem. Speaking area, Iceland Ambassador to Malawi, Dr. David Bianasom, pledged continued support to fistula programs in Malawi.
We believe that empowering women and girls is not only a matter of justice, but a foundation for sustainable development. Funding programs for eliminating fistula, including strengthening the quality of healthcare, is a good investment, we believe, for enhancing both gender equality and human rights. And Iceland is very pleased to be able to contribute to the program here.
Malawi has a fistula center at Bwaila Hospital in Lilongwe, where more than 350 fistula repairs are done every year. The center has also trained over 1,000 medical personnel who are working in different centers in the country. Eunice Jovu, MBC, Nkota.
Minister of Local Government, Unity and Culture, Richard Chimwendo has described Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people as a cultural unifying factor for Malawians, Zambians and Mozambicans. Chimwendo said this at Nkhani, the Chewa traditional headquarters in Katete district in Zambia, where he represented President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera at this year's Kulamba ceremony. Details in this report.
The cultural festival is celebrated towards the end of August every year and brings together Chewas from Malawi, Mozambique and Zambia. People from the three neighboring countries thronged Nkhani to pay homage to their king, Kalonga Gawaundi. During this ceremony, chiefs briefed the king on the situation in their chiefdoms, highlighting major issues and developments, and also present gifts to the king. In his unifying message to the Chewa people, which was read by a representative, Kalonga Gawaundi centered on sending children to school, discouraging cultural practices that promote the spread of HIV and AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases, and living in harmony with other tribes. In his speech, the guest of honor, who is also the president of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, applauded the cordial relationship that exists among the Chewas of Malawi, Mozambique and Zambia.
Our heritage, very important. I'm a traditionalist myself. I am a believer in our culture and our values myself. And we want to encourage young people in our country not to believe that when you've gone to school, to university, or indeed any other educational facility, then culture becomes less important. I condemn. Culture is the basis, the foundation of our characters. We must retain the culture and our traditions. And we want to thank all the traditional leaders in our 3 countries for sustaining our culture.
Speaking to MBC after the event, Minister of Local Government, Unity and Culture, Richard Chimwendo Banda, who represented His Excellency the President, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, at this year's festival, described Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people as a cultural unifying factor of Malawians, Zambians, and Mozambicans.
This is the Chewa gathering for the 3 countries, Malawi, Mozambique, and Zambia. It unifies the people of the 3 countries. But as you have seen, you have also seen that other ethnic groups comes along and enjoy with us. Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia, and including Zimbabwe, we are one people. Therefore, our people are one. They do trade, they intermarry, and because of everything happening within these countries, there is need for continued unity.
Commenting on this year's theme, the minister emphasized that ethnic groups should be in the forefront to take care for the environment to combat climate change and also use smart agriculture for food security.
The private sector here is fully involved. Here we were closer to 1 million people. Actually, in their calculation, it's over 1 million people coming together. A stretch of over 5 kilometers, people meeting everywhere. And they start these cultural festivals 3-4 days before the climax of the festival. You have seen trade happening. You have seen governments coming and speaking to their people, being open and being transparent. You have seen the president coming here and being open and being transparent. You have seen the chief talking, our king talking. And you have seen governments doing the same thing. We should learn one thing, that the private sector should be involved in promoting our culture.
Visitors from Zambia and Chewas from the 3 countries were entertained to a variety of traditional dances, including Gule Wankulu, Makanja, Mganda, Gologolo, among others.
Malawi, as chair of the 45 Least Developed Countries LDCs group, is hosting a strategy and ministerial meeting in the capital, Lilongwe. This leadership transition from Senegal places Malawi at the forefront of global climate negotiations for the LDC bloc until December 2025. Details with McDonald Chiwayula.
Speaking during the official opening of the Least Developed Countries LDCs group strategy and ministerial meeting, Principal Secretary of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Climate Change, Yusuf Nkungula, highlighted the urgency of the meeting, saying the unified voice of the LDCs is crucial in shaping international climate policies and negotiations. Nkungula said as Malawi and the LDCs plan ahead of the 29th session of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP29, there is need to take stock of pledges made and what has been fulfilled by the developed countries. He was quick to point out on what Malawi has benefited from participating in COP conferences.
We are still in the process of making sure that we submit some concepts for different projects. But fortunately, we started benefiting, like we had the Scottish government that gave some funding for loss and damage following the cyclones that hit our country. We'll give an example of Cyclone Freddy. So we had the Scottish government who gave around 2.5 million US dollars. And I think the support was given to the Malawian communities that are vulnerable to the effects of climate change, more especially cyclones, through the organization known as Give Directly. So they have been supporting vulnerable households, more especially in the southern region. And we're also getting support from GCF, JEF, on climate adaptation. Recently, I think we also gotten about $52 million, yes, through FAO and Minister of Agriculture on adaptation. So we have been working together. So we have started accessing these resources, though not as expected, because we're expecting quite a lot in terms of the pledges that came.
Director of Environmental Affairs, Tawonga Mbale Luka, emphasized the need for strategic climate action, noting the climate crisis is moving faster than the pace of the negotiations, demanding greater resources and agency. The objectives of the meeting are to solidify the LDC's strategies ahead of COP29, focusing on critical issues such as the new collective quantified goal on climate finance, high-quality carbon markets under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, and financing mechanisms for loss and damage. The discussions will also address the global goal on adaptation with the aim of increasing resilience in vulnerable nations. Summing up, Chairperson of the LDC's group on climate change, Eva Sinjewa, underscored the strategic goals of the meeting, focusing on the establishment of a permanent LDC secretariat, ensuring continuity and stronger representation. The meeting seeks to consolidate strategies for COP29, advocating for substantial financial support, technology transfer, and capacity building to tackle the escalating climate crisis. It is being held under the theme Uniting for 1.5 degrees Celsius, Aligned Climate Action and Resilient Futures. The participants are state and non-state actors, including climate experts from across the LDCs and members of Association of Environmental Journalists, IEJ, in Malawi. McDonald Chwayola, MBC News, Lilongwe.
You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. A reminder of our top stories this morning. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera urges newly appointed judges of the High Court of Malawi to be professional when discharging their duties. Government describes the Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people as a cultural unifying factor for people of Malawi, Zambia, and Mozambique. And World Vision Malawi launches a 76 billion kwacha campaign to eradicate child hunger and malnutrition in the country. Welcome back. Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority MACRA says it is concerned with low internet penetration in Malawi. MACRA's Director General Daud Suleiman made the remarks in Blantyre when the Communication Regulatory Body was giving 3 licenses to Telecom Networks Malawi TNM to continue its operations for the next 10 years. He urged the company to build internet penetration at 36%, and Malawi is the lowest in the SADC region.
The internet penetration level in Malawi is very low. At 36%, we remain one of the lowest penetrated countries in the SADC region, as well as in the whole world. This simply means that we have a lot of people that are connected to the networks, but they're not accessing the internet. And as you're aware, the world has become digital. Opportunities have become digital, work has become digital, economies have become digital. Therefore, the more we deepen internet penetration, the more we're bringing our people to the new era of doing work, to the new era of accessing government services. So there are a number of reasons why we as a nation are slagging behind. There are issues of high taxation on spectrum fees, high taxation of smart devices as they land in this country, as well as the issue of access to energy. You recall that about 18% of Malawians have access to energy, and that has also a reflection on how many people can connect to the internet. So that 36% is not a good number, but this is a multi-sectoral problem. There are a number of players that need to come together so that we can strive to reach universal digitalization, where every Malawian, regardless of where they are able to access a device that can connect to the internet, not just connect to the internet, but meaningfully connect to the internet.
In his remarks, board chairperson for TNM, Ted Sautipiri, said if there could be collaboration among players in the telecommunications sector, the situation could change quickly.
36% penetration on digital, to be honest, is perhaps below the average of SADC, as they may have mentioned. And so we need to strive to get better. There's a direct link between mobile connectivity and the digital penetration with the socio-economic factors. So I think we have a shared responsibility to do better than that. And I think that's the point that I was emphasizing. TNM has a role to play, MAC has a role to play, and so has the government.
The fifth meeting of Parliament in the 50th session opened at Parliament Building in Lilongwe yesterday. At the start of the 4-week meeting, Tourism Minister Vera Kantugule presented a ministerial statement on the current status of the tourism sector in Malawi. She called on the nation to unite in efforts to strengthen the tourism industry. Olive Perry reports.
The fifth meeting of the National Assembly in the 50th session of Parliament commenced on Monday afternoon in Lilongwe. During the session, the Minister of Tourism, Vera Kantugule, delivered a statement outlining the government's efforts to enhance tourism in the country. Kantugule highlighted the significant role that Malawians play in promoting their country, urging them to speak positively about Malawi to attract more visitors. She also mentioned that the ministry is implementing various programs aimed at developing the tourism sector. According to Kantugule, the tourism sector has demonstrated considerable potential in contributing to the country's economic growth and development. She further encouraged the legislators to collaborate with her ministry in developing potential tourism sites within their respective areas.
That you need to join us, the Ministry of Tourism, as far as Tiziambandife campaign is concerned. Tiziambandife Malawi. Let's start creating an image that is positive about our nation. It doesn't matter from which area you belong. Each one of us, we are first human beings. We are first Malawians. And that is what binds us together, in spite of our political differences. And that's what I was charging the members of Parliament today. And that is what destination marketing is all about. Now, after we have done destination marketing, after we have sold our country to the entire world, when people are flocking into our country, what are they going to see? That's where the product development comes in.
Member of Parliament for Mangochi North, Abel Chambo, also commended the Ministry of Tourism for its achievements. Chambo requested the ministry to consider investing in an island located between Manke Bay and Makanjira, suggesting it as a potential tourism site.
This development is going to make us achieve a better goal for the country. I also talked about the island we have in Makanjira, Chinankwazi. Most of the fishermen are fishing there. It can keep almost 200 boats within the island. So if tourism can take the other part of it and the other part living to the fishermen, because the standard of living for the people of Makanjira and Monkey Bay depend on fishing. That's their work. They do always. They support their families. So tourism takes the half of it, and the half of it given to the fishermen. That would be best.
Meanwhile, the House has been adjourned until Tuesday morning when deliberations shall continue. Olive Piri, MBC News.
Local leaders in Mangochi have accused some legislators of abandoning constituencies that ushered them into power following the establishment of new constituencies by the Malawi Electoral Commission (MEC). According to Senior Group Village Headman Shinaba of Malindi, some members of parliament are putting more focus on the newly demarcated constituencies, a move described as detrimental to development. David Umar has a report.
In April 2021, the Malawi Electoral Commission embarked on a constituency demarcation exercise with intent to improve efficiency and service delivery as well as equitable distribution of resources. The exercise resulted in formation of new constituencies. But the establishment of the new constituencies is said to be having a negative effect in terms of service delivery of development. According to local leaders, some members of parliament are abandoning their original constituencies and concentrating to win the newly formed constituencies, a thing which is detrimental to development. One of the local leaders who have raised the concerns is the Senior Group Village Headman Chindamba of Malindi, and he was speaking at a rally organized by Malawi Congress Party Ward Councillor for Malindi, Hassan Chikuta. This is a serious issue. Our MP deserted us long time ago. All these development activities you see here, it is because of our councillor Hassan Chikuta. The MP is now concentrating on the newly demarcated constituency. When contacted, parliamentarian for the area, Mangochi Northeast constituency, Idi Carlos, said while it is true that he is vying for the newly demarcated constituency, he is still initiating development activities in Mangochi Northeast. What the chiefs are saying is not true. Of course, the constituency was indeed demarcated, but that is 2025. As I'm talking to you, I'm a member of parliament for Mangochi Northeast. And as we speak, I'm building a school block worth 65 million kwacha in Group Village Chindamba himself. School block. Close to 65 million. In his remarks, Chikuta expressed intent to continue taking up the role of initiating development in the area.
They should encounter me as one of the leaders who is going to transform Mangochi Northeast into a modern town whereby I've got a lot of plans. You know, Dr. Lazarus McCarthy has encouraged us that you should not take people for granted. You should develop your areas without looking where the people are coming from. The rally was organized to drum up support for Chikuta, who is vying for a parliamentarian seat, and according to him, upon request from the people. Dave Umar, MBC News, Mangochi.
First Deputy President of the Malawi Congress Party, MCP, Catherine Gotanihara, has urged Malawians to support Dr. Lazarus Chakwera to achieve his development agenda. Gotanihara made the appeal in Rumpi during her first political rally as MCP's first Deputy President. Jackson Sijali reports.
Speaking to people who gathered at the Rumpi Police Ground, the newly elected First Deputy President of the Malawi Congress Party MCP, who is also Speaker of Parliament, Catherine Gotanihara, assured people that the Chakwera administration is committed to promoting economic independence through various initiatives. She emphasized the importance of embracing government's vision for the transformation of people's lives through trade, agriculture, infrastructure development, and other programs. Gotanihara highlighted the Chakwera administration's efforts in creating economic balance, noting that it has significantly supported farmers to fetch better prices for their produce, such as tobacco and soya beans.
I came here to Rumpi to have a meeting with party supporters. We are encouraging them to vote for President Chakwera. As you listened even to the chief, from the chief himself, he said that this year's commodity prices for farm inputs has been very good, and that a lot of people in the villages are so happy that they were able to sell soya, groundnuts, tobacco, maize at very, very good prices, and they think that's the best way of alleviating the poverty of people in the villages.
Regional Chairman for North, Kezi Msukwa, said the party has respect for democratic values and pointed out that its reputation is attracting members from other parties.
Plenty more will be coming. I've just mentioned of Luca Kandawire, who has joined us. He's in the embassy in South Africa. He was in UTM. Now he says no, he has got to work with the Malawi Congress Party. And all these that we saw here, they have joined us. There are a little bit more in the villages, but because of time, we couldn't be able to show out all of them. But this is a sign that people are happy with the way His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is leading us. And no doubt, come 2025, Malawi Congress Party will carry the day clean and square.
Member of Parliament for Rumpi Central, Magdoish Dumba Mkandawire, outlined the party's strategies for youth empowerment, including sports and skills development.
You know, the youth play a very big role in the development of the country, and the youth are in big numbers. It is therefore important to support them in their daily lives.
During the rally, 12 individuals defected from other political parties, including DBB, UTM and Afford. Additionally, the ceremony featured the launch of the 4 million Chidumba Trophy, with Rumpi Select defeating Kabaza Football Club by 2-1. Jackson Sijali, MPC News, Rumpi.
And on a sad note, Father Claude Poacher, otherwise known as Ajisale, has died at Kamuzu Central Hospital in Lilongwe. He was a staunch custodian of Malawi's cultural heritage and spent well over 40 years researching into Malawian culture and languages. Many will remember him for being instrumental in setting up the Gongoni Center for Culture and Arts at Mua in Dedza district. Mua Mission was set up in 1902 by the White Fathers. May his soul rest in peace. And that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera urges newly appointed judges of the High Court of Malawi to be professional when discharging their duties. Government describes the Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people as a cultural unifying factor for people of Malawi, Zambia and Mozambique. And World Vision Malawi launches a 76 billion kwacha campaign to eradicate child hunger and malnutrition in the country. For more on these and other stories, follow our online platforms on Facebook, X, Instagram, and also our website, mbc.mw. You can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Evelyn Stingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.